Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, know your nation, know yourself. And I would just like to introduce someone. This is Sibyl Harmony, but and the roles have completely reversed due to technical difficulties. Sibyl just tried to host me on her channel, but unfortunately, StreamYard was playing up. So we've had to flip it around, and I'm now hosting Sibyl on my channel, but Sibyl is still going to be interviewing me. So, so it's kind of a funny scenario, isn't it, Sibyl? So, first of all, well, thank you for inviting me onto your show, even though we're now on my show. But would you like to introduce yourself to the audience and then ask the things you wanted to ask me about, and we will just discuss?
Okay. So thank you for showing up. I was really looking forward to inviting you. I especially saw your last couple shows. Awesome stuff.
Thank you.
And I have some things to ask you about that.
Please do.
But I started tuning into your shows a while ago, and I thought you are so fun and you're such a good reader. And I'm excited to have you as a guest on my show, and I wanted to ask you some questions about yourself and your books. You've written a novel or two.
True. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Then you have this card. You did this amazing painting that you call it a card that
Yeah.
opened up a portal that I could actually see you looking through, and you saw this amazing stuff. So I left a link on my channel for people to come over. So I hope I'll mention it to them again if they don't catch it live. But it was amazing what you got through this card that you saw. And so I don't know how much we're going to have time or to go. They really should watch that video, because what you got, this whole scheme with you call him Duck Larage. I call him the Mad King now, and
Yeah.
Rubio and their plan. It was just amazing. But so I saw some other things too with that. I saw I had a dream years ago, so I wanted to ask you about that, about how this evolves and Vedic astrology. And so,
and this is the card, by the way. This is
right.
it's the it's the card that came to me, which it actually started out as a sketch. It actually, just to give you the context, it actually looked first of all like this. Yeah, I just had to grab some paper, and it was a dream, and I did this on the November 5th, 2025. It was a sketch, and it was a card that came out of my deck because Duck Larange in a dream came to me for a reading. And then he was quite incoherent and whatever. And I was pulling cards out of my usual deck that I use. And then when I pulled the card out, it became huge. Yeah. It became massive like this, and it became this size. And this is what it looked like to me in the dream. And this is the eye of a bald eagle, which is actually my spirit animal, but it's also the bird of the United States. And there were 3 pyramids and the Sahara Desert in the background with the sun rising in the east. And the card was moving like these were moving like that, and the eye can go that way. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I sketched it out. Then I obviously took the time to paint it, illustrate it. And then I had another dream, which is the one that you saw recently on Sunday, where that eye kind of turned into this. And if you see here, it kind of changed shape, and it became sort of like a handheld projector, and the light was like coming out. So you see how you got my projector here? And in the dream, everything was projected out, and I could see all of the timelines, and I could see what Trump and Marco Rubio were up to in regards to Venezuela and their wider plans in order to basically try and become the emperors of the Americas. I published the video yesterday. The reaction to the video has been incredible.
I've heard about it. Some of my
Thank-
clients have been saying, they got someone sent it to them, or yeah.
Really? Wow. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been sharing that video. But in the end, look, I don't normally call myself a channeler. When I read like people's charts, I know some channeling stuff happens. But by the end, towards the end of the video, Sibyl, it was just all coming through. I was seeing the ancient past, the present, the future. I could see what they were all up to. I could see that it was a strategy, that they were going to go for Colombia, Mexico, Cuba, blah, blah, blah. Now they've admitted it. Have you seen on the news? They have basically admitted that is what is next. But anyway, I'm going to shut up for a bit. Back to you. Sorry.
Well, I think I was just burning some Palo Santo. We had technical difficulties. Sometimes the energies that be don't want me coming on and talking about this stuff because I have some, and I also, I'm not a technical person. I remember past lives as a mermaid in Lemuria. I've been on this planet for a long time, but I've never had a lifetime with technology. And I spent the 80s working with shamans in little towns. I did some training. I was psychic as a child, but I did some training. And when I opened up my practice in 2000, people said to me, you're going to have to do email. And I was like, what's an email? What? I just, so anyway, my father was an architect and he swore off computers. Even when we used to go to Jack in the Box, the thing where you talk to the Jack.
Yeah.
And he took us there one day and he said, I'm not talking to a Jack in a box and I'm not using. So I kind of followed after him. But anyway, I've been burning my Palo Santo, but I hope enough people have come on here. So
the
information that you got was amazing. And
thank you.
What you said, I'm still burning that. What you said at the end, I was curious about because you were talking about a little bit about hope or about how this works out. And I wanted to ask you, I had a dream years ago that the timeline wasn't really clear, but it looked like quite many decades or maybe even hundreds of years from now. And I saw that, and I noticed you said this at the end of your video, that America superpowers don't usually last more than 250 years.
True.
And that's what I've been getting. I saw that the world would be all together. That it would be, there was a battle, and it's an interesting, I won't go into the whole long story, but there was somebody who was the leader who I thought was not a good person. And I saw these people, all different races. There was no money. Everyone lived in homes that were built naturally into the earth. They were like environmentally sound.
Wow.
And everyone was very ethical and they protected their ethics and the plant very carefully. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were very grounded and they were very compassionate, but these were very brave and powerful and serious people. And they didn't take their world for granted. They were protective of it, but it was a beautiful place. And I saw that that's where we're going as a planet. And I don't think America is going to stay a superpower. I think we're going to start sharing, like why did we ever break up into all these little countries that are then pitted against each other? So anyway, that's what I see. And I have hope because I also talk to astrologers in tropic. I know you do Vedic astrology, which I'm really interested in, and I wanted to ask you about. But when I speak to tropical astrologers, they say we're having a hard time between now and 2030 or 2032.
Yeah.
And this is a big year of change now. But what I was looking at is a vision of a different kind of a world in harmony and balance. I was looking at it in hundreds of years from now, not in our lifetime, but we are the ones that are the beginnings of the time of Aquarius, or the beginnings of the new time, that are here setting the energy with our awakening of consciousness for a compassionate, peaceful world. There's no reason for war.
Mm-hmm.
There's enough money. Billionaires have enough money for everyone. There's even hidden money that we don't even know about, that we're not even told about. There's enough money and resources on this planet for everyone. There's no reason that anyone should be hungry or homeless or not have medical care or healing care or whatever. And so I wanted to ask you about Vedic astrology I see it getting better. We get to a more peaceful place, and I realize it could go either way, but I see this new world coming in. Are we the beginning of the new world?
Yes, I would say what is happening is we are at the confluence at one of the most important times in human history. Now, many people, particularly those that are interested in spiritual channels, have heard this kind of thing before. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And, because people have been saying this for years. And some of that language has been like hyperbolic and maybe a bit over the top. But this is it. Like, this is it for real. We are in, because I was doing obviously I'm an astrologer and as well, so of course I did my 2026 prediction videos, and we're in the year of the fire horse. It becomes official, I think it's on the 17th of February, but as we know, we are now in 2026. So already the energy has changed, because we've gone from a number 9 year, which deals with a lot of endings and all of this kind of thing. And now we're in a number 1 year, but it's a 10. We need to remember it is a 10. Now, if we remember, 10 is a very important number. Wait, because
this is a 10 year?
Yeah, they call it in numerology, of course, you reduce down to 1. Yeah, but when you add up 2026, so 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2, well, it adds up to 10, and then you reduce it down to 1.
Right.
But there are some numbers that you don't completely collapse down, so that 10 part is still very important, because the 0 is there. And we need to remember the 0 is very important. The 0 is what? The number of infinity. It is the number of the divine. So if I remember correctly, the 10th card in tarot should be the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I think it's the Wheel of Fortune, isn't it? Let me just double check. Yeah, I think it's the Wheel of Fortune, but we need to remember the Fool is the 0. Yeah, the Fool is also the 0 card. And it's quite interesting because I've split the deck. And look, here is, I've also got here the Star card, which in the shadow is my representation for Trump. But this is also about the universe having your back. And I think one of the most important things that came out in that dream is that we have to understand, I was being shown how energy from human beings is being used to go along certain timelines. So Trump and Rubio and the regime, they have to keep people at a certain vibration, very much like their MAGA demographic. And I was shown that the people that buy into Trump and that energy in a very deep and big way, where he becomes their identity and the idea of the savior, I was shown that energy was almost like a lump of lead. I'm trying to remember the dream, because I think in the end, I was starting to channel in the end, and what starts to happen is that I can't even remember some of the things that I said, because it was like it was just all in flow. But I was being shown that that energy was like lead, and this lead is like they were able to use it to pave the pathway, the timeline that Trump and Rubio and all of these other cohorts of people want to create. However, I was also shown as well that the world starts to push back. And it's not just that we have to push back with force and what have you. We have to also as well keep our energy high as well. So this is to do with meditation came through very clearly, walking in nature, collaboration, really get in touch with your friends, family, share food, drink, laughs. And I'm not saying in a kind of fluffy kind of way we have to ignore what's happening. No, we have to pay attention. But the most important thing is not to give Trump our energy. Yeah, we can observe, but as difficult as is, because a lot of people are like, I hate him, I want him to die, and I can understand that. But in doing so, in wanting him to die so much, it's actually helping him live.
It's feeding him.
It's
He feeds
feeding.
off the hate and the misery.
Yeah, yeah.
This is
Because
not a normal person. When you said reptilian brain, I literally see like reptilian. I don't mean to scare people, but I see reptilian beings around him. These are the warlike type beings that have been here. It's like the movies, you know? It's with the good guys and the bad guys and saving the world. And you have these reptilian, because I can literally see, like when I look at him, when you said that, I saw a slithering snake tongue. You know, he used to make that snake joke all the time.
oh yeah.
Not that, nothing against snakes that are, you know, in Native American teachings or ancient teachings are about, you know, transformation, but nothing about that. But literally reptilian beings, and I do a lot of healing work with people. Primarily, I'm a healer. I dropped my cards. Hold on. Primarily, I'm a healer. And when I see people with sexual abuse or even physical abuse, there's always these, no human does that to another human. These are other worldly, or like if you have, you know, guides and angels and helpers and ancestors and helpful, like that, but they have the dark ones. These are bad people, and they have these really negative energies with them. Speaking of slithering tongues, I did a video the other day on Rubio on and I think he's coked up, and his tongue was going, his mouth is like drinking water, and just and there's nothing wrong with being gay, but they said, somebody said he was reported to have been making out with some guy in a car. And they got caught doing that. But I think he's coked up, and I think they have a crazy plan, and the mainstream media is going, wow, well, you know, what are they doing over there? And well, what, you know, I was looking at already right when this happened, I'm like, which country is next? I pulled the cards and I was like, oh, they're not, this is a mess, and they're just getting started. That's why Rubio says, oh, you know, they have it under control, and Marina Corina Machado she's going to do that, be the leader. And then Trump's like, no, we are. They're just throwing the chaos, and they want people to be confused. And then the news is sitting there going, now a lot of people are pissed. Like a lot of my comments from my video that I did, the last one I did about what's happening with this new war, people were clearly angry, and it's understandable, like what you were saying about being angry, but we should not feed the snake. We can't give our power away. We can't let them take our joy. Like, take it from the people in Ukraine. They still have birthday parties. They have weddings. They fall in love. They cook wonderful food, and they're being bombed, but they are strong. And that's when I saw this dream about, you know, how the world ends up. I feel like, you know, a united world. I feel like a lot of it is that strength that comes from that kind of strength where you don't let your joy be stolen. And in some ways, we're going to have to wake up and learn and grow and find a way to detach, like you were saying, and not feed in. Like it does. I had a great year. That's partly why I couldn't get on with the technology, because I was so busy today with clients. I had so many people calling me. I couldn't even get in here to sit down till about 3:27. I was like, oh my God, I'm already late to my own show. But yeah, so this is, I wanted to, should we do some cards, or do you want to just look at the energy, or?
Absolutely, it would be good. It would be good to do some cards. But in terms of like, and I saw in that dream, I saw these different timelines that were laid out. There was the obvious timeline which is what Trump wanted, and primarily Rubio. Yeah, so I'm now going to start calling him Rubicon Rubio, and I explained in the video why this famous incident in history, crossing the Rubicon, and then that just became a whole thing as well in terms of relaying what I was seeing. So I saw their timeline and what their desire, and I also saw as well that one of the things that Trump wants, and this may seem absurd, but it would make sense now. Now, you know, he's doing that ballroom in the White House. First of all, underneath all of that, there is a whole network center thing that is underneath that. Yeah, there's all of that. So they're upgrading the technology, and they've got all of these other kind of diabolical plans, but it's basically to do with tech. But one of the things that I'm seeing is one of the main reasons why Trump wants that ballroom, because I think he wants that to become a coronation room of him as emperor or Caesar or king of the Americas. I think he wants it to become like something, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, I'm saying in his twisted imagination, this is how he's seeing it, that he wants that to become like the Westminster Abbey, where you are anointed king. I mean, think about it. Why a ballroom? Why a ballroom? We all know that, you know, I don't know if anyone saw that dance, that first dance that Trump did with Melania when he won the first time, and it was one of the most wooden things I've ever seen. You know, that wood should have, you know, they should have used that wood in the roofing. You know, if that wood could be turned into real stuff in real life, the housing shortage in America would be solved. Yeah, because it was one of the most wooden dances I've ever seen. So it's not about, yes, there's an element of entertainment. Yes, there is that element of flamboyance in terms of what Trump wants to do. But I think he wants that also to be like a coronation room. I bet you any money, once that thing is made, there's going to be some kind of throne. But what Trump doesn't realize is that Rubio is playing the longest game of all. You will notice in those photographs, you know, when they were showing it unfolding, where they were basically abducting Maduro.
Yeah.
The person that was most visibly absent, of course, was J.D. Vance. In the dream, I saw that Rubio and sort of as well, like with Pete Hegseth, but also as well with Stephen Miller, how essentially kind of J.D. Vance would be kind of sidelined, or in many ways he's been sidelined already. How can you not have the vice president there? So it's already happened. Remember as well, we had Erica Kirk come out and be like, yay, I want J.D. Vance to be the next president. How do you think that's going to go down if you're a malignant narcissist, yeah, and your vice president is being endorsed by one of your former showgirls? Not a good look. So you see, he wasn't there. Rubio is playing the long game. He understands that Trump is demented. Only a demented person would do this. But he is cultivating he is egging Trump on, along with Lady Graham as well. Do you see Lindsey Graham on the aeroplane saying, yeah, now we need to do this place, this place. So they're egging him on. In a way, they're kind of like, Trump is like a gaudy battering ram that they have crafted. He is delusional. He is a malignant narcissist. He wants to be king. He wants to be emperor. That's already given. We know that. What he doesn't have is the stratagem. Yeah. And what they do is they feed him. They feed him these ideas. They feed him these timelines.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And then once this all happened, at the end of the day, he can either be blamed for it all, or they're going to go, oh, he's got dementia, or they just ship off grandpa, yeah, to either Saudi Arabia, Qatar, or Israel, something like that. And they go, oh, he's demented. Oh, he didn't know what he was doing. But all the infrastructure is in place. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen, because guess what? The world is pushing back already in a strong way. Now, the Russians have protested, and they, which is a bit rich coming from them, they said, this is an invasion of a sovereign, without a shred of irony. This is an invasion of a sovereign country and blah, 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 which is absolutely true. But Russia is not really in the place to be giving lectures to the world about what is right and not right when it comes to the sovereignty of other countries, which they have completely abused. But what it shows is is that Russia is very, very upset, because there are many interests in Venezuela. The viewers here will know I've got a dear friend of mine called Nelliana. She can't talk about Venezuela in public so much because of the situation back home. But we've been having some very illuminating conversations behind the scenes, and there are a lot of interests in Venezuela. It's not just the Venezuelans. You have the interests of Cuba, that need and use the oil. You have the interests of Russia, which have interest there. You have the interests of China there, Iran as well, and India. A lot of the oil I found out recently from Venezuela is sent to India. India then processes it, and then sells it to the rest of the world. So Venezuela is a very important and strategic place. So I just wanted to add that, Sibyl.
Yeah. Just a minute here. I dropped another card. Okay. All right. I was wondering about Rubio. I see him scheming and planning, but in his chart, or should we do cards on him? Is he gonna turn out to be president so he can carry out this plan? Because the plan is, in case somebody didn't see your other show or just tuned in, the plan is to take the Americas. The Mad King even drew a picture of himself standing over Canada, Greenland, Mexico, Colombia, Cuba, and then he already paid it. You said in your show, makes sense why he paid off Argentina, so then he owns them. He's got a deal going with them.
Honduras as well.
If he's gonna, not make it, and I wanted to talk to you about his health, but I have another question about that. But if he's not going to make it, and Rubio's going to take over, because nobody likes JD Vance, and
nobody likes it.
But wait, my camera's a little blurry. Let me make it clear. So, but does Rubio are these? Now you're in England. I know you're very knowledgeable about politics and all this, and you've probably been doing this longer than me. But do these good old boys, these racist MAGAs, are they going to vote? Because he is Hispanic. I mean, it's okay if he's his, secretary or something, because they're like, you saw the Nazi flags at January 6th, and I mean, are they going to put in a guy who's Hispanic? Rubio? Does he have a chart that's like going to get him in there?
Well, one of the things. Well, yeah, we'll do some cards, but to answer your question, one of the things I'm going to do next, there are several shows that I actually need to do. One of them, of course, I need to do a deep dive on Marco Rubio's chart. Yeah, I've not done it yet. So that would be one of the things, because I've got JD Vance, I've got, you know, I've got all of these. Who have I got here? I've got a lot of the charts, yeah, of political peoples here, and many, many more I've got in storage on file, yeah, on file. But one of the ones I don't have is Marco Rubio. So I need to look at him next. One of the other things that I need to do, there is a new moon coming up in sidereal Capricorn, and there's a whole pile of other planets there with it as well. I think it's Mars, Venus, Sun, all of this other stuff. And sidereal Capricorn is very important because it deals with corporations, business, government. Something else that is very important is that China is a Capricorn ascendant, Capricorn. So I need to go back to the chart of China, and then I also need to cast the chart of Taiwan and see what happens there, because this is one of the things that I've seen, and I actually said it. I can't remember which channel it was, which show it was, but I was reading tarot. And one of the things that has come to me is that for China to win, it has to do nothing. Yeah, I'm going to repeat that. For China to win, all it has to do is nothing. Because what Trump is doing is so cray-cray. The world is going to look at China to be the stable anchor in the world. And they even used those words. They said, we are now going to become the stable anchor. One of the things that I can see happening is, could it be that Taiwan, looking at this new world order, which is emerging, because guys, this is a new world order that is emerging because Trump has ripped up the rule book. Could it be that maybe Taiwan goes, you know what? We'll be part of you after all, because what use is America to Taiwan now after all of this? Trump doesn't care.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about Taiwan. So if you've got huge China on your doorstep, and you know America is not coming to your defense because they are busy being, and I say they, not in as in you, dear viewers watching this, I mean the regime, where they see the regime going around taking Greenland, taking the Panama Canal, making war on Mexico. Where does Taiwan rank in that? They may actually just look at China and go, you know what? Maybe we're better off with you after all. And China gets Taiwan by doing nothing. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, because they're intelligent. They're wise. Right. They play in the long game.
They play the long game. China is over a 5,000-year-old culture. They make 5, 10, 15, 20, 45-year plans. They are very, very patient. China has realized they can win, that less is more. Less is more. So we'll have to see. But let's pull some cards on Rubio. Let's see what's going on with him.
Will he be the next president? Are we pulling a full deck or just a couple of cards?
I think let's do, because it's just the two of us. Let's do a full card pull each, and let's see what we get. Yeah. So I'll be putting my usual 5.
I'm already seeing something.
So shall we say, will he be president, or like does what? In fact, let's say will, because we know he wants to be president. Will Marco Rubio become president or emperor or whatever, crowning himself in that bloody ballroom?
That Susie Wiles he doesn't like her because she can see what he's doing. She watches everybody. Somebody was telling me, oh, they don't get along because they're both career politicians, but he doesn't like her because she can see everything. She sees all his little.
Well, she's obviously diabolical, but she seems to be the only shred of sanity in that place.
Yeah.
You know.
She kind of wants out, but she's in over her head.
Oh, completely. She's outnumbered.
She's a crooked politician, but this is way gone cuckoo nuts over her head.
She's outnumbered. And Trump doesn't really respect the authority of women anyway, as we have clearly seen when it comes to international leaders.
So we
He'll
said,
say
will,
that you're nice. He'll say, "Oh, she's nice," but nah, no one take, you know.
so we
Ruby.
said, will he be president or can he be president?
Yeah, can he? Will he? Let's see what we get. Marco Rubio. What times we live in, huh?
Winning a primary.
And I'm working on turning the illustration into a tarot card, by the way. In fact,
are you doing a whole deck?
Oh, that would be 78 cards. I'm not.
You know what that reminded me of? I do healing work. So the third eye here,
Yeah.
the chakra, the sixth chakra goes counterclockwise, and then the inside goes clockwise. And then in the inside of the sixth chakra, there's a pyramid. And when I go in and straighten somebody's pyramid out, all their chakras line up. And so when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's pretty trippy with the pyramids and the third eye and all that, because that's what it reminded me of.
Thank you.
That's kind of what I do when I look at people's chakras.
Ah, wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, it's a very special card.
Yeah.
I feel privileged that it's come to me and that I've been able to visualize it. One of the things I'll just show you, I'll just get your opinion, guys, because all right, here, let me indulge me, Sibyl. I'm just going to share screen.
Of course.
Just so you can see here. So I need to look at more places, but this is what it looks like. Can you see it as a tarot card?
Yes.
Now, this is only the first place I've been to, guys. I need to check a few. Ideally, I would like all of the pyramids to be visible. But what do you think of that as a card? Do you think that would be fine as it is, or do you think you need to see all three pyramids? What's your thought?
I think it would be better if you could, but I think they're in placement for a reason, right?
Well, yeah, because the thing is, because the way I've set up is that it's like, it's obviously, it wasn't tarot card, standard tarot card shape. This is an image that was done on A4 paper, but the size of it, I've done it the size it came out of my deck when I was doing that reading for Trump. So when you actually put it in 70 by 120, as you can see here, obviously it's a lot more narrow, but you do still have the impact of the eye. But this is, I'll stop the share there. I mean, it's
I like
only
the other one on that side better, where you can see them. I think you need to see them.
Yeah, somehow. I was thinking as well. Yeah, because
maybe the eye needs to be a little smaller or something, or so they could fit. Because if they're missing, then the person's going like, why are they missing?
Right, precisely.
Something missing in feng shui or in healing. You want it asymmetric. You want it. There's a reason. Like, why is something hiding?
That's precisely. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, and that's just a formatting thing, guys. It's just, that was the first place that I went to. So this isn't exhaustive research. And I'm going to find somewhere where I can get all three pyramids on, because they won't let me they let me move the image like this, but they won't let me move the image down like this. They won't let me shrink the image. And I've tried to do it on other things and it's not quite worked. But
I should have had you. I wrote this book on energy healing and spiritual development. It's called White Rainbows, and I have pictures. I should have had you do my artwork, because there's some stuff in. I didn't even do the pyramid, the third eye, and all that in here, because I wanted to write a 500-page volume, you know, volumes 1, 2, and 3 of everything you ever wanted to know about healing and spiritual development. And the writers club that I got into said, no, you're doing this in 90 days and you have 200 pages. Nobody's going to read a 500-page encyclopedia of everything you want to know about that. And so I was like, okay, because it was my first book that I published. So I wanted I'm like, okay, you're the experts, you know, and I'm happy I put it out. It has all the basics, but someday I want to write I don't know who's going to read it, but I want to leave it here the information that I've gathered in this lifetime, I want to leave it here somewhere in written form so that other people can see it. But that was really trippy the way you had that with the third eye and the pyramids. I was like, and then you were talking about it going in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you open it up and activate it by moving it in here.
Indeed, in the
I think
dream,
it activated, open your creative, your either your astrology and the times we're in, and you've been doing this and showing up and being of service, and you just got activated, and it just came to you, and you're following your mojo, your abilities, and just because nobody else was getting that. I didn't see anybody else getting that. I mean, I had the dream from, you know, that it's all, but nobody cares about what's going to happen in 800 years from now.
Yeah. I see it as a gift. I feel like it might be connected with some of that energy of Three Eye Atlas as well, because
right.
Yeah, because there's sometimes there's a lot of things that happen, and we should also obviously do the cards on Rubio, but just to fill in that point. So I did a video where I tuned in with Three Eye Atlas, which is already out there. I can't remember when I did it. I think it was maybe a month and a half ago now. But when I was on my retreat in Agua Madera in Ibiza, and we Neliana and everyone else, we were doing, like Ingrid and Penny and I, we were doing ecstatic dancing. And it's like this kind of spiritual kind of, you dance and you get the energy going and everything. And I have, well, not everyone knows this, but my older followers, people who've been following me for a while, know that I have two dragons. Yeah, one is called Aurora, who's a beautiful pearlescent, and that's a female dragon, beautiful pearlescent, white pearlescent dragon. And I've got a male dragon called Calcifer. Now, Calcifer can actually do the fire stuff, and actually Calcifer, I think, is French for fire. But anyway, the point is, we were doing this ecstatic dance, and I started to fly on my dragons. It's just stuff that happens when I get in a very, very high elevated state. And I was flying on Aurora, and I was throwing a golden light around all of the earth. And I've been doing that quite a bit in my little meditations as well. But then Calcifer, I started riding on Calcifer, and it wasn't flames. It was like these spirals of energy that he was shooting out. And what happened was I started working with Three Eye Atlas, and we were bouncing off energies together, and I was doing things. It was going to all these different places. I don't know. I think these might have been hidden places, but the whole point is that Three Eye Atlas is an opportunity for all of humanity, for us to raise our vibration, even though we're being tested, because the old world is breaking down. This attack on Venezuela is actually a symbol of the weakness of the regime, but they're trying to, one of the things that came through in the video was that if an empire is dying, how do you save a dying empire? Yeah, you can start a new one. That's kind of what they're doing, but it's not going to work, because the rest of the world, the vibration is coming up. Even with all of the craziness in Ukraine and Russia and stuff, this has been an outrageous move by the Trump regime, which everyone can see, and the pushback is coming strongly. So I feel like the Three Eye Atlas is opening a lot of new energetic centers in people, and I feel that tarot card that came through is part of that, because it doesn't exist anywhere, but it's I call it the portal of time, of past, present, and future. And then it showed its full potential in that dream. Sorry, you got your pendulum there. What did you get, Sibyl?
Oh, sorry. Oh, no, I wanted to see what you got on Rubio.
Ah, yes, let's go for it. So what I'm
not understanding what I got here. It doesn't make sense. That's why I was doing the pendulum.
Oh, I see. Do you want me? Do you want me to go, and then that
Yeah.
might add clarity to your cards? All right. What do we have? I've pulled 5 cards. So this is Marco Rubio. Remember, the question was about, you know, could he be president or whatnot? If we look here, we see the 2 of Cups, deals. Yeah, Rubio. The word I'm getting is triple threat. Yeah. Rubio is very, very cunning. He's playing several different games at once. His goal, if he could have his way, as what the dream was showing me, if he could become emperor of all the Americas, then he would. But he can't do it in his own right. He needs Trump and the cohorts. But he's made deals, bargains. Do you see here the 2 of Cups? He has relationships. Obviously, he is also from Cuban background, so he probably speaks fluent Spanish as well, which obviously helps him, and he's probably thinking that is an advantage. Yeah, so there's that. He's made deals. However, if we look here, he is torn. Yeah, he is torn because he's having to debase himself in the presence of Trump. Because remember, we're dealing with a demented, malignant narcissist. So a demented, malignant narcissist can't have anyone appear more strong or more powerful than him. So it's like Rubio is having to squash himself down. Have you noticed how he gets this kind of very blank look? He's squashing himself down. It's like he has to pretend that he doesn't have any ambition at all when he's around Trump, when of course he's got colossal amounts of ambition and it's causing him stress. If we look here, the next card that comes up is the 8 of Cups. What this says to me is that he'd be happy to abandon Trump at any moment. And the second it becomes convenient, he will abandon him. But maybe he just can't do it yet. This is also as well his sense of any obligation to the people of America and the United States. He's like Lady Macbeth. It's just all raw ambition. If we look here, we see the 10 of Pentacles, which I often associate with the GOP, but it's not just the GOP. It talks about legacies. Yeah, this is the only card where you've got 3 generations of one family all together. You've got the grandpa here, so you could say this is Trump. You've got the children, yeah, maybe the daughter and the son-in-law, one of the kids playing, and you got the dogs here. So Rubicon Rubio is looking to establish a legacy beyond Trump. He just needs to use him and exploit him. This is almost like an elaborate form of elderly abuse. You know, we don't feel sorry for Trump, but it is kind of because they know he's demented. Yeah, they feed him these things. It's for his legacy, not Trump's. And then if we look here, we get the Lovers card. The Lovers card I associate not only with important decisions and relationships, so we see the relationship echoed again, but for me, this for me is imports, exports, trade deals. Rubio is thinking, obviously we know that they're thinking about the oil because they've already spoken about it, but I think he's got his own deals, agreements, contracts with other people in other countries, and it's like Trump is like the battering ram, yeah, the one to kind of break the wall down, and then he'll come and try and be like the civil face of it all, although he would effectively be, if it were to work, a de facto ruler of all the Americas. Let me just pull one clarifier on this Lovers card. It's the clarification.
I got the Lovers too.
Did you?
That's why I was asking my 10 to him. What's that?
I've got here, this is the Knight of Cups. So this is about messaging. This is about trying to be the charming knight. He is playing multiple games. Rubio's playing multiple games with multiple deals with different people and different countries all at once. And Trump is just one of his vehicles. What do you have, Sibyl?
Yeah. Because I saw here, he's in it for the position, the deal making, money, but he is stuck. He's stuck there. He does want out. He's trying to balance and figure it out. The truth comes in. I got this. I feel like there's a truth. I asked if he could be president. When I look at him psychically, I see him like he might try to give something to Democrats or like, because the Mad King doesn't care about healthcare. He doesn't care about anything. I think that's what I wanted to ask you. Is there still going to be a midterm? Because I think he wants to just take over the country. Congress might even say you can't do this war, but he doesn't care. He's going to do whatever he wants anyway. He's already broken so many laws. He'll find a way. Oh, we're taking them to court. They can't do that. They're communists, and we're still, you know. But so I think he doesn't really even know what he's doing. He's just the next person that gives him an idea, the Mad King or Duck L'Orange, whatever you want to call him. So I feel like Rubio might try. I keep seeing him give something to the Democrats, and I got the Lovers too for him. And so I'm like, this is my card for Trump. I just don't think what I want to do is pull 3 cards. Like, I do think he wants out of there. I think he can't stand him.
Oh no, he can't. He can't. He can't. He can't. You can see.
He knows it's insane. He doesn't even try to pretend it's legal or sane. And Rubio knows better than that, because he's not stupid, even though he's cunning and he's younger. But let's ask, will the Trump supporters support him? Because that was my card for you know, the Mad King. I'm just going to pull 3 cards. You can pull 3 cards or a full pull if you want, or
go for it.
A card, however you do that. I'm going to pull 3 cards for, will the MAGA support him? Because he tries to come across like, I feel like he might try to come across like the more reasonable person that, you know, establishment or Democrats and moderate Republicans could vote for, because he'd be good for, you know, business. No, they won't. See this? The MAGAs will leave. The light will be shown and betrayal. Trump will destroy him.
Now, isn't it interesting? I pulled 3 cards as well about MAGA, and I just wanted to add this just to bring some of the people in, Sibyl.
Okay.
What is it? Where was it?
And I have MAGA relatives. I'm not against MAGA people. I just think they're misinformed. I just want to say, some, you know, I don't understand the prejudice and the hate, but a lot of them just thought it was going to be a better economy and they could put their kids through school, which doesn't really excuse, you know, all the awful other things he does, as long as it was going to help them. But okay.
Well, it's unfortunately, this is a lesson for many people to realize that everyone and everything is connected, and you can't just vote for your own narrow interest and not expect to feel,
hello, wake up.
You know, it's
that
just,
didn't work, did it?
You know, too much narcissism out there. But I just want to share this bit here. So blessings to you says Lev Parna, I don't know who that is, but is saying the whole crap was staged. Maduro sold Venezuela to Trump and he will go to Russia in exile. That explains why Maduro was so happy and wishing people Happy New Year. Fake news, they say. Now, I tell you something very interesting. Yeah. So look, I'll just read it out. Blessings to you says Lev Parna. I don't know who Lev Parnas is saying this whole crap was staged. Maduro sold Venezuela to Trump and he will go to Russia on exile. That explains. Yeah, that would explain why Maduro is so happy and wishing people Happy New Year. Fake news. One thing I want to add to that is, if you guys haven't seen it already, on December 23rd, it was our Christmas special on my channel, and I was there with myself. It was oh god, my mind's just gone blank. Sheila, and it was Lisa. and we did a read on Venezuela. One of the things that came through was that there is this energy here of performance. We said there's something performative about it. And I was reading, I said, there's some kind of
I
agreement.
remember that. I saw that.
Yeah, some kind of pre-staged agreement, which was also echoed as well in that dream that I had. That could well be the case as well, because think about it. I was talking with Nelliana today, and if you think about it, if you're really going for regime change, then what you do is you get rid of the whole regime. You don't just take one person. Think about it. You don't just take one person and leave the infrastructure of that regime in place. You have to get as many people as you can. Could it be that if that person is correct, that Maduro's basically played the ultimate game, sold everyone out and be like, hey, I'll be your hostage. You capture me. But we have to see what happens, because I think he is being put through court, and from what I understand, he's being kept in a very dingy cell in Brooklyn. So that theory has yet to play out. But there are many levers to this, and I think more people have been involved in this coup thing than people realize. Anyway,
I saw that he would be extradited to another country. I didn't know it was Russia.
well, yeah, but we don't know if that's actually going to come true, yeah, because this is someone who shared what someone else said, yeah. We don't know. This, of course, is not yet fact. We don't know. It could be a possibility, but we have to see how it plays out. But you were asking, like, would MAGA support Rubio? And what I've got here is the Justice card. So this is the card, of course, that deals with legalities. It also can deal with contractual agreements, I find. I think really here, MAGA wouldn't be so into Rubio, particularly when we see here, look, I get the walking away card as well. The whole thing with the cult of personality is that it doesn't transfer onto other people very well. You can't manufacture it. And then if we look here, we then see the Wheel of Fortune. So I think these midterms, assuming they happen, are just so important. They are just so important. Assuming they happen, I think Trump is going to do everything he can to stop them. But does it mean that that timeline has to happen? No, I think the world is going to push back against Trump.
Should we do? We're getting close to an hour. Oh, it's 444.
All right. Yes.
My
yes.
time is 444. That's the angels.
Wonderful.
I work with angels a lot. Okay. Should we do one more question?
Sure. Let's do one more.
Should we do that on are the midterms going to happen?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's see. Let's do that. And then that will wrap us up. Okay,
I mean, I've read on this a lot because it's so important, and I just want to see if it what you're getting. I'll look at it again.
Sure. Will the midterms happen? Will the midterms happen?
Or should we say, will the midterms happen and will the Democrats win? Or is that two readings?
That's two. I would say let's read if they will happen, because think of what Trump's done. We need to see if they're actually going to happen or not. We'll
probably win. The Democrats will win if it does happen.
Oh, of course, that's a given. They already know that. So if you're a malignant narcissist, what do? Yeah, you start staging wars, because we're not talking about Epstein files, are we? So will the midterms happen? Will the midterms happen?
Oh boy.
Will the midterms happen? Will the midterms happen? Let's pick this one. All right. Do you want me to go? Yeah.
No, I'll go first.
Okay, go for it.
So what I'm seeing here is even with all the craziness going on, we still have a lot of Democrats in power and people in power that will, and even, I don't think a lot of billionaires are still, because Kankle's, he turns on everybody, or the Mad King, he turns on everybody. People have had enough of him. So I feel like they, you know, they're going to make this happen, and we have hope that crossed by hope. So we still have a strong infrastructure government. It is about the money and the votes, of course, and it is a hard push. This is not going to be easy. This is going to be a fight. They're going to do everything they can. But this is my Archangel Michael card, the 444. This is coming through in the end. Oh, you got it too?
Mm-hmm.
And no, not so fast, Mr. Mad King. I feel like we do. I feel like we do. Am I, do you see it differently? I feel like it's a hell of a fight. We got a hell of a fight.
Yeah, I'm seeing there are some challenges as well. So if we look here, in terms of the midterms, I get the 6 of Swords. So by this time, a lot of people are going to be wanting to move to smoother waters. One of the things that I saw in the dream was like the Trump regime is harnessing a lot of the anger and rage that exists within MAGA to forge the timeline that they want. It's basically like they don't even realize how much of a permission structure they've given for all of this BS that we're seeing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because even though his numbers are in the 30s, that's still 30% of the nation that's going along with this, which is really indefensible. Yeah. But even them, yeah, by the time we start reaching, I think by the time we're even in the summer and then beyond, the economic consequences are going to be so dire that everyone is going to want to be moving on, yeah, to smoother waters. But from who? Yeah, who's the obstacle? Look, the Emperor, Duc L'Orange, his ambitions to be emperor, you can see, are in the opposition to people wanting to move on. He knows this. He knows this. If we look here, now this is remarkable because the other day I turned all my cards upright again because from my last reading, yeah, I got 3 reversals. So I went through my whole deck, guys, and I turned all the cards the right way up. Look who's shown upside down again. This is what the Queen of Cups here can talk about, what the secrets concealed. Yeah, this is the Epstein files. This is, and it's not just the Epstein files. It's everything. It's the whole criminal network. I was watching a report where it said the president of Colombia said basically that America is run by a cabal of Fredophile people who are corrupt, and they're going to do as much war as possible, and they're going to try and steal the oil of our neighbor. So he's obviously switched on. So look, that's that stuff there. But if you look here, we get the Chariot card. People are really going to want to push for this because it's going to be so extreme. They know that they're running out of time. This is why they're doing as much damage as possible. But it's also important that there is pushback, not just from the people. We need to see Democrats, people in news media calling, screaming from the rooftops for impeachment. The response, in a way, within America, or certainly in the media ecosystem, has been very tepid. The rest of the world seems to be a lot more angry than the United States. So it's going to gather speed. Yeah, it's going to gather speed. Then I too as well get the Page of Swords, which of course now I associate this swords with the pages, of course, with young people. Swords also as well talk about communications. This can be sharp critique. I think the critique is really going to be ramping up because, of course, people's expenses are going up, the medical bills, the lack of jobs, the way AI, frankly, is also taking a lot of jobs. I pulled some clarifiers. There is going to be some upset. It's not going to be easy trying to get these midterms. Yeah, there may even have to be a bit of spilled blood, even. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It could get that far. We look here, though, but the spirit, the people have to rise up. Here, the Knight of Wands, and then the outcome card. Ah, look at that. We get the 10 of Cups, which is like, you know, the happy family. It can sometimes be seeming too good to be true, but when I put that together, it's like that's what has to happen. I don't think anyone is going to come to the rescue because they can't, because this regime is too dangerous. America's army is too powerful. But I think it has to be a combination of people within America rising up, combined with international pressure, and maybe, just maybe, that might be what deflects the regime off. Yeah.
I get fighting too. There's the Queen of Swords. That's what my fear was, that there might even be some bloodshed. But the American people, this is the beginning of the age of Aquarius, right?
Yeah.
And the American people are going to stand up. You saw the No Kings parades. We may not stay a superpower, but we're not going to have this. It may be that we go to the younger generations, bring us to a new, more inclusive world someday. But I think we have a fight on our hands. And I feel like the American people will stand up, that it is us, sadly, not the mainstream media.
Oh, useless.
They're still sitting there. Some of them are like, what's happened? Well, he shouldn't be doing this. And gee,
they're part of the problem.
There was another email that came. I mean, there's already videos out that he raped 13-year-olds, and I mean,
oh yeah, all of this is known.
It's like,
all of this is known. I've been saying for a long time, and I had to shut up about it for a while because people didn't like it. But I said, listen, the mainstream media is complicit, even the likes of CNN, MSNBC, to an extent, because they do this sane washing. What they do is they bring the temperature down. They bring the temperature down, and they kind of normalize the diabolical. This is outrageous what Trump has done. It's outrageous. But the fate of Venezuela is now changed as well, because their dasher sequence has changed. And I think ultimately in the end, Venezuela will win. But this overreach, for me, it's almost like that has signaled to the world that it's over. And many people around the world are seeing it that way.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. We've gone on for quite a while here, and thank you for everybody. I hope people who showed up? How many people?
Oh, a lot. We've got over 1,000 people that showed up here in.
Did anyone show up from my channel?
Say again? Well, but the thing is, we had to change, unfortunately, because
I messed up on the technology.
So what I would say is, everyone, please, I will link Sibyl Harmony's YouTube channel in the description below once I've done the post-show stuff. So please, of course, pop over to Sibyl's channel and like and subscribe. As you can see, she is a very experienced healer and is very knowledgeable in all of these things, even if technical stuff isn't your best strength. But you know what? Sibyl, I've had more than my fair share of technical issues on my channel, as my viewers will know. But
now, do you have any events coming up? Or
events?
Members?
Yes, I do. I've got my retreat coming up. So if anyone wants to join me on my retreat, there's only 1 or 2 places left, but you will love it. So it's Agua Madera, Hotel Agua Madera in Ibiza. That is where I'm doing my Neo-Vedic retreat, and it's from the 1st to the 4th of May. And that card, guys, just so you know, the card the tarot card. I am going to make this available for people, because people have been emailing me, asking me, because it's a beautiful card. I'm not quite sure how much of the iridescence you will get, but I'm going to make this print available for purchase. A lot of people have been, people have been emailing me saying, I want that card. So I already have something set up.
Wait a minute, that's a
old
sacred
website.
card. It's going to open their third eye, and I don't know.
Absolutely. I want people to use this card, and I'm going to make that into a tarot card.
Okay.
And then people will be able to buy that tarot card, like as a single from me, shall we say, so they can add it to their own decks, because I feel like this energy is very much as well talking about three-eye atlas. The card showed itself to me what it can do in terms of turning into this incredible thing. And I want other people to have access to, a lot of people said they feel all sorts of different emotions when they look at the card. And I just feel like we need this and other things like it for this time, because I think the timelines are speeding up. The timelines are also splitting. I think there's a lot of change. So don't worry, guys. Once I've got that available for you guys, I will let you know, and you'll be able to kind of at least buy the digital print of it. So there, I'm done.
You got to keep the three pyramids. We have to see them like we have there. And I don't think it's a tarot card. I think it's an activation. Oh, wait.
Yes.
Is there an orb just moved by you?
Oh, I don't know. I'm getting a lot of orbs these days.
Float up here. Okay. So that card is a third eye. It's like an activator.
Yeah, it is.
Ever had people show you sacred symbols? By looking at things, we can be healed. I feel like that is an activation. Or sometimes when people have a cover to a special book, or you put a book, it has an energy to it, and you place it in your home in a certain place, or you look at it. I feel like it's not just a tarot card. It is a tarot card, but I feel like it's an activation.
Yeah, I agree.
Feel like it has the energy that you created, that was divinely brought in, that opened up stuff for you and can do for other people. It's a third eye activator.
Thank you.
Higher self activating card.
Thank you, and I'm glad you said that, because that's how I feel. That's what it's done for me. And I want it to do that for other people, so that we can, even amongst all the chaos, guys, we need to remember we can still rise up. We can still ascend. We still have love. We still have empathy. We can still have fun as this old world starts to decay, because it's what we're seeing is actually a form of decay, guys. It's the death rattle, the desperate grasping of an energy that is trying to hold on, that's trying to stay here. And the more we activate, and yes, like you said, get these activations, you know, that kind of, the eagle's eyes pierces through all the different layers of reality to give us clarity. And I think that's what we need. And the more of us keep waking up, the more it weakens the timelines that that Trump and his henchmen want, and the more we strengthen those timelines. Let's not forget Mamdani as well, and the positive people in politics. Give them positive energy and prayers and vibes, help them rise up, give them encouragement as we lift our vibration up as well. But we have to go for it this year. This is it. No turning back, folks. This is it.
Oh, I love Mamdani, but you know, the eagle is to align yourself with divine will. It is power, but it is the divine will. It is aligning your path on the divine will. And when you talked about it too, you put your hands here, which is this chakra here, this thalamus chakra that connects you to your guides, your higher self. And so with the three triangles, I feel like this is something to do with activating the third eye, and then the activation of mind, body, spirit, the awakening. And that's what the three-eye atlas is bringing, is this conscious of awakening, where a lot of us, when you tune into it, and people are, I get talk to people all the time. I'm going through these symptoms. I'm going through this. I'm like, you're awakening. And I'm going to do a video next week on chosen ones. I know you're one. People who are here, we're different. You're carrying the light. And most of my people don't even know that they are different too. They have abilities. They're carrying the light. They're carrying this message. And the more of us who are in the awakened vibration, it wakes up the planet. And that's why we're seeing all this stuff has been happening forever on this planet. But now we're seeing it because of technology, the good reasons of technology, but because we are awakening and the truth is coming out. And if we, you know, if you didn't see it, you couldn't, that this is what's prompting the change to a new world, that we are the ones that are and we can have, when you're living in fifth dimension, you're living in a state of higher consciousness. You can enjoy your life and separate yourself from the third dimensional chaos, because that's going to be crazy. People keep saying, when's he going to go? When's this going to end? And I'm like, wait for it to get worse, because I mean, we're not done yet. We're right in the middle of it. So we need a healing as a world, as a country, as a world from this stuff. And we are healing. We are going to a better place. And I want to thank you for being on your show. I will figure out this technology and have you back when I can actually do it next time.
No problem.
It was a delight to have you on your show. Okay. And everybody, like and subscribe to Hogarth's channel. It really helps us put this message out of awakening and truth and healing for everybody. And sending you all love. Thank you for tuning in.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, well, we'll end the show there. Stay on for a little bit post chat, Sibyl. So I'll end the stream now. So big love to everyone. Please, of course, be sure to like, subscribe, share, hype, and all of that stuff. And be sure to subscribe as well to Sibyl's channel. She has got lots and lots of wisdom. Big love. I will see you guys on my Wednesday show, which of course is not too far away now. My goodness, so much to talk about. So we will leave it there. Bye-bye for now. All right. Bye-bye for now.